Good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie with The Go Show, your source for information, inspiration, and always a few dates to add to your calendar. Miss Linda, can you turn this light off? Or poke it somewhere else. All right, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. We're so grateful. Just take the show where you want it to go. Thank you for your perfect will, your perfect timing. We love you. We praise you. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen. All right, good morning, y'all. I haven't been here for a bit, so lots of things have changed. The screens and everything, so bear with me while I get my my groove on here. Anyways, I got a few guests coming in today, and I'm super excited about that. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with some other random calendar items until my first guest arrives. So let me see. If you guys go to my Facebook page, I did go on and I shared a bunch of events that are coming, because there is a lot. And I know you probably listened to U-Turn Laverne's show today. I hope you did, because she also had a lot of good mentions on there as well. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Facebook page, which is just Lee Marie, no hyphen, even though I do go by Lee Marie as a first name. But I'm going to bring up that Facebook page with you so that I can tell you about some of this stuff, because in Robertson County, we are so blessed. I mean, any given day, there are multiple things that you can pick from. So thank you, Mr. Paul. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, great. I did get a message from our guest. She's run a little bit late, so no problem. No problem at all. We will take her as soon as she gets here. So in the meantime, let's go to the Facebook page and pull up a couple other things that are going on. Okay, the first thing is the Seeds of Hope, but I'm going to let my guests talk about that. There are so many things, and you know what, guys? VBSs, there are a ton of VBSs going on in this county. So make sure you check out one of my earlier links, because that has everything. There is a Blueberry Festival coming July 5th, and I had just found this. This is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that is at 2087 Kinney's Road. Shade Tree is having a Blueberry Festival. How fun is that? Lots of freedom bashes, guys. Of course, you know about the Freedom Fest here, but then also, this Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is a Freedom Bash in White House, 309 Wilkinson Lane. Northridge Church is doing this, and so it's this Sunday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. There's going to be fireworks and food trucks, inflatables, and all that kind of stuff. So that's called the Freedom Bash, and that is on my Facebook page. Again, I put a bunch of links to Vacation Bible Schools up there. Today at 4 p.m., there's a Mother-to-Be Expectant Mother Expo, and that is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can see that link. Let's see, that is at 100 Northcrest Drive in Springfield. So Mothers-to-Be, and that is Northcrest is putting that on. Okay, Open Sew. So free Open Sew Saturday. That is this Saturday at 10 a.m. You can bring your sewing projects and just have room to lay everything out and sew together. 5017 New Hope Court in Springfield. Super, super fun. Okay, June 28th, parking lot party. This is 3556 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, and it looks like they are going to have a petting zoo and a Crazy W Farm. That's the ones that brought that huge bull out to that rodeo last year. They're going to do a real cool petting zoo. All right, sounds like my first guest has arrived. Hello, Miss Freda. How you doing?
Good morning.
All right, let's get your mic turned on here. Excellent. I'm so glad that you could join us. I did bring in some of the bluebirds.
Oh, great.
So this is Freda, and what is your official title?
I am president of the Martha Song Board, and we are a volunteer board, so it's a fun group to work with. We all work really hard, and this time of year is extremely busy for us, but it's so rewarding.
Okay, awesome. And so this Saturday, there we go. They got your beautiful face on there. This Saturday is your big day.
It is. It's our largest fundraiser of the year, so it is the Seeds of Hope tour of gardens. We have 9 garden sites throughout Robertson County, and our tickets are on sale or can be bought at the start of the garden tour on Saturday morning at 9. So tickets are $25. You get a great tour of some local farm gardens as well as some local home gardens. Get some great ideas.
Now, I have a question. Can you buy a ticket at any of the sites?
You can.
Okay.
Most people have purchased their tickets online through Eventbrite. You can find that connection through our Facebook page is probably the easiest way. We also have an event page, but you absolutely can buy one that day, and you can start at any of the sites. So there's no particular order. So if you live closer to one than another, you can start there. Absolutely, a lot of flexibility.
Okay, and this is just such a win-win, because not only do y'all get to see a bunch of just awesome homes and ideas, you get inspired, you get educated, but then also you get to help a very awesome cause.
Well, thank you. We do believe it's a great cause. We have been working since 2005 was the first year we got started, and we give away money to Robertson County residents who are undergoing cancer treatment. So this year, because we've been fortunate the last few years, the garden tour has been very successful, and we've had a lot of sponsors step up and some special events that benefited Martha's Song. We've increased the amount that we give anyone up to $750. So we let the patients decide where to spend that money, where they need to use it the most. So it's a small token. We know that bills can be large, but let's folks know that the community is behind them and thinking about them and supporting them, providing a little hope. And our logo is the bluebird. You mentioned those here. So this year,
I love that.
This year we added flocking. The little bluebirds of happiness would appear in someone's yard, and it's been a fun fundraiser and a fun way to bring awareness to not only Martha's Song but to the garden tour. Got lots of folks talking. It's been fun.
Yeah, I loved the bluebirds. I drove up to Crossroads the other day because my dance studio is right next to it, and there's bluebirds all in front of it. I was like, "This is so cool!" So I love that idea. Was that your idea?
Well, I thought about that the other day. We were in a board meeting, and I cannot remember who first said it. We have a creative bunch, and we definitely build off each other. And years ago, there had been. Many years ago, I guess for folks who may have grown up in Robertson County, you may remember the pink flamingos that were used as an awareness for the American Cancer Society. And we kept thinking, it'd be nice if we had something fun like that. And so we started looking for bluebirds, and there weren't any. But we worked with a local vendor, and we're able to get these produced, and it has really it's been fun. It's been fun for the folks who've been flocked, and it's been for us as volunteers. We've moved them every 24 hours. We had 6 sets of birds, so they went everywhere. We would at night, where are you taking your birds? Just asking each other. So it's been a fun summer project, and a great way to let people know about Martha's Song. So.
And I just flocked her right now. See, they got bluebirds all around her. It was hard. We were trying to this morning, but it's opposite of, when you're looking at the camera, everything's opposite. But with you sitting there, it was easier for me to get those up there. So if you're watching online, you will see now we have 3 bluebirds behind Freda. And if you are listening on the radio, guys, remember, please share this show. We are on Facebook and YouTube. We're on the app. And, we're also on the website. So please share this show. That's the only way that really gets out. And it's really great if you can send it on people through Messenger, because you could just share it, but not that many people will see it. But if you actually send it to them, or you can text them the link and just say, hey, we need to get the word out because this event is this Saturday.
It is.
So, and today's Wednesday, so we need to get this word out. So 9 a.m., they can show up any place. All right, now everybody wants to know where the 9 places are. So let's go over that.
I feel like I need to pull up my phone, or I'll forget someone.
No problem.
South Central Growers has been our title sponsor for the last few years, and they, of course, are not generally open to the public. So that has been a fun partnership. People can go there, and they have an experimental garden where they are working on what they'll sell next year. For those of you who may be new to Robertson County, they're a large greenhouse. They have multiple large greenhouses. They provide many of the flowers that are sold in the southeastern United States that are sold at some major retailers where you may shop for some flowers. Maybe if you go to Walmart or Lowe's, you might be buying flowers that are and plants that are grown right here in Robertson County. So South Central Growers, just north of the town, close to the airport.
And I'm just going to give you the address real quick.
Okay.
4724 Hire Road, Hire. Is that how you say that?
That is correct.
All right, in Springfield. So again, guys, this is not something that's open to the public, so you definitely want to make sure you hit that one. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I should have pulled my, if you got my list up, Lee Marie.
Sure. Would you like that?
I would. That would be helpful.
Yeah, there you go.
It's nice to collaborate. Thank you so much. Lisa and Bump Smith have a home garden over in Stonegate, and they've been working on that for years, and it's beautiful. That's one of our sites. We're also Cedar Hill Apothecary, right in downtown Springfield, has a community garden behind their shop. So they are going to be open in each of these sites, whether it's a home garden or a farm, or in this particular case, a small business. We'll talk with our participants about what worked, what's easy to grow here, what failures they might have had. So if you're like me and your green thumb is not natural, you can learn a lot, and you can ask a lot of questions from people who are working here in this climate and are kind of by trial and error learning what
And
works.
that is so valuable. Sometimes you will just get this one little tip, and it just completely changes, everything. And so that's really great. Yeah, pick these brains when you're out there with these people that are having all this success.
And they're happy to share their knowledge. Some of them are master gardeners and have a background in that, so they really can be helpful. James Place Farm is another home garden. Joe's Flower Company. They
Now, before we move off of James Farm, because I love Doug and Maureen,
You know
aka
them.
Mo.
Okay.
I absolutely love them. And I know they were scheduled last year when we had all of that torrential rain come in. And so I am so excited that they are one of the official stops.
they have worked so hard, and it was. I think many of you may remember in one weekend we had over 10 inches of rain, and their particular garden location is at the bottom of a hill, so all the runoff literally washed out everything. And we've had a lot of rain in May, but it was not all at once. So their efforts did not go in vain this year. So they are really doing some unique things. They've got some self-irrigation they've done where they capture rainwater. Just some really fun, unique things that I think people will find it fascinating.
And she's a recent graduate of the Master Gardeners.
She is. So you get a lot of things in that stop. So I hope people will enjoy that one. David and Melanie Gunn live out toward the Barren Plains area, and they have a beautiful centuries-old farm, and their garden is loved and tended to, and has some really strong roots there. So it'll be good to see, how to build on some existing things. Mahala Farms is a new event venue, and that's a fun story and kind of a hidden gem that a lot of people don't know about. Carrie has moved here and sort of, as she says, let the land speak to her about where to put things. Beautiful creek running through the property, so that'll be a fun stop for people.
Yes, we got to see it last year because they had me come teach, my husband and I come teach a swing dance lesson at one of their dinners. And I had no idea. It was beautiful.
It was, and they also have, they've planted some wildflowers, and I think some really strong winds came through last year and let the land kind of decide where things are going to be. That when the trees fell, that sort of spoke to, okay, so maybe we're not going here. We've had this opportunity open up with some land that clears. So it's fun to see how some people look at things as a negative when Mother Nature does her thing, but you can use it as a positive. So that's been fun to watch. Jennifer Warner in the Historic District is also opening her garden. She had, when she bought the place, it already had a koi pond. So she's was fortunate to have that element, but has done a lot. She also has a quilting studio behind her home. So just a real different setup there that I think people will
So is
enjoy.
that studio going to be open as well?
People will be able to go in there, and that will be nice to just give you an idea of maybe what to do with the studio space. Many people have attached detached garages and things that they may not be using for something creative, and maybe that'll inspire someone as well. Roger Bunch, also in the historic district. Roger has done a lot of work with Willow Oak and has a real creative mind and has developed this garden basically from a typical backyard with not much in it, and looks very much like an English cottage garden. So I think that'll be really pretty.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, lots of variation. So I hope people will join us. We start at 9. It goes until 3. You can go in any order you want to, and we will have a Martha Song booth at each location, so we can answer questions and hopefully give you information to share with anyone you know, friends or neighbors who may need that financial support.
Now, I have a question, because we do have some people that are watching from out of state and out of country, actually. Now, to donate, because, you can still be a part of this weekend's fundraising. So how can they donate if they're out of town?
Probably the easiest way is through our Facebook page. We do have a link where you can donate. We have a Venmo link to that. A lot of people use Venmo, but we take checks in the mail or however people would like to donate.
What does the Facebook page look like? What's it say on it?
It is Martha Song Foundation.
Okay.
Is the Facebook page, and you'll see the bluebird. So that's how you know you're on the right one.
Martha's Song Foundation, and that is also who you would make your check to. But there is a Venmo link on the Facebook page and the website. So yeah, guys, please use this weekend as the opportunity to support this very worthy cause. Thank you so much, Freda, for coming in. I really appreciate you making time for us.
I appreciate it. One thing I'd like to add, because this community has been so wonderfully supportive of Martha's Song through the years, and over time, we've given away about $200,000 to your neighbors and friends, and it's awesome. Small amount of money that means a lot to people. So,
is there any other contact information? Is there an email or a phone number that you share?
I think Martha's Song Foundation would be the easiest way for people to reach us through Facebook or through social. And marthasong.org is the website.
Oh, okay, marthasong.org. Okay, very good. So y'all show up between 9 a.m. and what's the closing time?
3.
Okay, guys, there's great 9 locations to visit in a short amount of time. So make sure you set your alarm early and get out to the first one at 9 o'clock. All right. Thank you, Freda, so much for coming in. All right. While we make the switch over to our next guest, I will go ahead and do a couple commercials. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Well, spring, actually now it's summer, is in full bloom as well. I was going to say spring is in full bloom, but happy summer, everybody. Southside Drug wants to remind you that they have not only a full service pharmacy, but also some locally sourced unique gifts. So many local makers and bakers now have their goods at Southside, so you never know what's going to pop up over there. Delicious homemade bread or fresh flowers or unique gifts from Linda. So stop in and soak in some hometown charm at Southside, located at 1000 South Main Street in Springfield. Their store hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So for more information, you can visit SouthsideDrugCo.com. Of course, make sure you tell them that Lee Marie sent you, and I hope that you'll check them out real soon. All right, we have our next guest coming on here, and let me get everything ready here. Excellent. All right, Paula Farmer. Let me turn your mic on. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. How many times have you been on this show?
This is the second.
Second? Okay. All right. Wasn't sure. Okay. So
thank you.
You are involved. I heard that you wanted to tell us about a meeting that is coming up tomorrow. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's correct. So thank you again for having us. Yes, on tomorrow we will be having a meeting about the subject of school choice. And in order to be at the meeting, please show up at the Purpose Church. The address is 800 South Main here in Springfield, and it is right next to Stuart Williams. And that meeting will take place at 6:30 again tomorrow on June 26th.
Okay, 6:30. Okay, and do they need to RSVP or they just show up?
Yeah, everybody can just show up. There is no need to register or RSVP. You could just come.
Okay, and so you're going to be talking about. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Linda, my production assistant, who is telling me that we need to adjust the microphone. Thank you so much. So what exactly is on your agenda there for tomorrow?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be talking about school choice. The purpose of this is to share information with parents, with families, with the community about what school choice means. And I just want to share a few things about it. So school choice includes charter schools. And with charter schools, there are 3 options that we would discuss
Okay.
tomorrow night. Option number 1 is first, there's an opportunity to work with classical schools. We have worked with them before with this organization, so we have a relationship with them. The second opportunity is to go with charter schools with those who are interested. There are a few charter schools that are interested in the Robertson County opportunity. And then lastly, there is an option of a private school, which is a new project that is happening in the state of Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So what we say, and we say this a lot, is that we are not against teachers. We absolutely are not. I am a product of Robertson County Schools, proud to say that, had a great education, but we are for students. And we believe that students deserve opportunities for more quality education, particularly in core subjects. And charter schools teach core subjects. Yes.
Very good.
For sure.
All right. And I know that in general, I know that Robertson County is kind of to the lower 1/3 for the state of Tennessee. And then I know Tennessee, the state, is in the lower 1/3 of the country?
I believe that's correct.
Something like that.
Absolutely. And there's a little bit of data behind that. I'm glad you brought that up. The charter school scores in Nashville are about 10% points higher than Robertson County. What you say is still true, but it's a little bit better. So according to the State of Tennessee Education's website, the state achievement scores for 2024, because the data for 2025 has not come out yet, are 40% for the state. In Robertson County, what that looks like in each grade is, and in each grade we are below, grades 9th through 12th are 31%, grades 6th through 8th are 30%, and grades 3 through 5 are at 35%. So again, we're not against teachers. We just believe that there should be an opportunity for a better education for our children.
Okay, all right. So tomorrow night at Purpose Life Church, and that is on Memorial Boulevard.
Yes,
Stuart
800
Williams.
South Main. Yes, right beside Stuart Williams. And it's going to happen. We're going to kick off at 6:30, and everyone is welcome to attend.
Okay, all right, very good. And is there an email address or a phone number if they wanted to get more information, or how do they find out if they want it? If they have, or do you want them just to put questions in the Facebook post here?
Yeah, well, what we really want them to do is to show up, and then they can get all the information relative to how to stay in touch with us and all those things.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
And I did just look up Purpose Life Church, and I want to just say it's actually 805 Memorial Boulevard.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So
805.
I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure, because I was thinking, I didn't think it was even over there. And I wouldn't want people looking on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah, I appreciate
Okay.
that. It's actually on the opposite end are Stuart Williams. So Stuart Williams is, if you're facing it on the right, and Purpose Church is on the far left.
Okay.
So thank you for that.
No problem. All right. Well, is there anything else before you take off?
No, that is it. I just want people in the community to come get information, ask questions, and be informed.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Paula Farmer with the, what is it, Improve Education Committee? I think that's what they said it was called. All right. And they're having a meeting tomorrow, which is Thursday, 6:30 p.m. at Purpose Life Church, 805 Memorial Boulevard. All right.
Thank
See you then.
you.
Okay. All right. We're going to go over some more calendar items before our third guest comes on. We have a busy day today, and I've missed you guys. I haven't been here for, I guess, a couple of weeks now. So let me tell you about one of our friends, one of our sponsors, Coldstream Camp. They are in full force now, guys, because guess what? It's camp time. And so I hope that you guys got your kids signed up, but there's still some more happening. And also, Coldstream has a lot of great options for churches to do, like small events. Yeah, you can send my next person in. Small retreats or even big retreats. You can take over the whole campground, or you can just rent one of the houses. So they provide a lot of options. I hope you guys will get a hold of them. Their phone number is 615-696-2208. Again, that's 615-696-2208. Or you can visit their website, coldstreamchristiancamp.org, and you can find out what dates are available. I know that I was trying to book a ladies' retreat, and I have to go for next year because the dates are just really filling up fast over at Coldstream. So I know a lot of you guys got to go see them at Experience Robertson County last year, and you guys were blown away that we had such a beautiful camp right here in Adams. So make sure you check them out. All right. Well, look at how gorgeous you look. Rhonda Rastelli making her debut, right?
Debut.
Debut. All right. And doesn't she look beautiful, everybody? All right. So, Rhonda, you've had a lot of things happening lately and a lot of new projects. So that's why I wanted to have you on. I'm going to put the camera just on you so that, there we go.
Oh, yay.
Yay. All right. So let's introduce the universe to you. So go ahead.
Okay. I'm Rhonda Rastelli. I am recently graduated from the University of South Alabama with my master's in nursing, and am a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. My husband is Gary Rastelli of Ridgetop Mower. I have opened a practice. It is a telehealth practice primarily, although I do have some availability if needed to do an in-person visit here in Springfield. I guess my mission comes out of probably 10, 15 years ago. Worked at Northcrest and worked in the ICU, and saw a lot of people come in to the ER with maybe suicidal ideation, some significant mental health disturbances, challenges. They were sent out of the area for their maybe 3-day stay at a hospital down in the Nashville area. Were discharged, came back, and at that time there just were not a lot of resources for support, so they would actually return, a month later, 6 months later. So at that time it kind of established a kind of a seed of passion for the kind of the emotional, psychological well-being of the people that, I was caring for, their medical well-being. And so when COVID happened, I was working a long-term care facility in Ashland City. And of course, COVID was devastating on many fronts, but I would dare say that was one of the hardest to see people basically isolated from their loved ones. It was a very powerless place, and not one that I recognized probably I could finish my nursing career in. And so it prompted me to go back to school. So I joke and I tell people I was at my 40th high school reunion, and I've got classmates talking about retirement, and I'm like, talking about the term paper that I that I have due in a week. So it was, not kind of what I ever expected at this juncture, and yet having done it, I feel grateful to have completed the programming and licensure. And like I said, I see people telehealth, and I have a website, and I think what's unique to my practice is how passionately I advocate for and kind of want to delve into a person's spiritual well-being and what an integral role that it has literally in their mental health. So when I'm taking history, spiritually, I ask the good old, evangelism explosion question of, do you have, your certainty of eternity? And I get everything from, no, we just turn into energy after we die, and that's okay with me, to basically, yes, I, am a born-again believer, and I know that, I'll go to heaven, and everything in between. So it helps me to know better how to literally meet their need. If we're talking about maybe a counseling need or an issue, referring them back maybe to their own home church versus I have a lot of people approaching me or finding me through a platform called Alma, and they have Cigna health insurance, and so I can refer them maybe to a large congregation in their area, whether it be Chattanooga or Knoxville. That's where several of my clients are finding me from through their, insurance resource. And so peer counseling in a church setting to address very core issues of, purpose in life, where, pain of a psychosocial, but, emotional, spiritual kind. It is very rewarding to know that medicine is, I believe, my belief, my practice, I guess, mentality is that not everything needs medicine, but medicine is not an evil. That means that, you're weak. It is often used as part of a treatment plan. But true, I guess, healing and recovery isn't ever going to happen with just a medication. It's absolutely going to require the tough job of talking through challenges, issues, and certainly spiritually coming face to face with, our purpose in life. Why are we here on this planet? And that sense of a confidence about the hereafter, and what do I do today?
Wow, that is so awesome. I'm so glad that I had you on, because I didn't realize, the background. I mean, you really you've been able to see it from all angles.
I have.
And especially like going into it because you saw there was a need for this. Like there is no one doing this here in this area. So that is so great and just admirable that you took that on.
We're better served, of course, now, 10 to 15 years in it. Things have grown in the community in terms of availability. And certainly the model of telehealth has just expanded access. Rural citizens tend to have higher rates of depression and suicide, and generally have to drive farther to access resources, and statistically are less likely to have any kind of coverage for it. Having said that, what I've encountered now is a lot of people have a deductible or a coinsurance that they don't even realize until they get the good news from the people at Alma who, tell them what their responsibility is going to be for their appointment. So, having insurances like, for example, just had a client and it cuts his rate of his new patient appointment in half.
Wow.
But it still leaves him with, enough money that, he's not sure that he'll be able to keep the appointment. So that is a huge challenge for people that kind of fall in that area between any access to, state funding versus, an insurance plan that funds them well enough to just have a small, copay.
Okay. All right. So I know some people right now are already like, okay, I need to call this woman. So let's give that information right now before we get any further.
Okay. Website is mind-renewal.com. And phone number 615-266-3024.
Okay, one more time on the phone number.
615-322-3024. Sorry.
Okay, very good. And so you do take insurance.
Do take insurance.
So if people just want to call just for like a free consultation
Yes.
as far as like, am I covered or what's covered?
Yes.
They can just...
I'm set up to have, it's a really interesting platform. It's called ZocDoc. And so when you click the book here button on the website, it'll take you to my availability. And you can book either a new patient appointment, or if you're coming to the practice through Alma, you can book a 10-minute free consultation where we review some of your needs and, basically to schedule the appointment.
Okay.
Big issue in mental health, of course, is substance, use and abuse. Some practitioners out there have moved to I don't write anything controlled, no controlled substances. And I do not do that. I have a very strong clinical support in my supervising psychiatrist, and he is very available clinically, and so I have a moderate to good comfort level. And currently, an inpatient or in-person appointment is not necessary yet at this time to prescribe that kind of medication. That may change in December. They've been saying every year since COVID that might revert back to where an in-person is required, but at this point in time, it is not. And there are things in place to keep people safe. There's a statewide registry for tracking when people fill their medicine, how many providers they've seen, and so there is certainly caution and good clinical, judgment to be used, but I am open to, the use of those medications if they are, the clinically indicated.
Ah, very good. All right. So we do still have a couple more questions for you, but I want to cover a couple of our sponsors real quick. So we have DK Styles, and DK Styles and Tanning is your local favorite for haircuts and for kids of all ages, adults, styling, color perms, waxing, tans, and now they actually have an in-house manicurist over at DK Styles. So they are a big supporter of our military and our first responders, and they offer them haircuts for only $20. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3. So I know a lot of you guys got stuff on Saturdays. That's great. 8 a.m. I didn't realize that. All right. DK Styles is located at 3538 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, and you can call them at 615-384-8999. Again, that's 615-384-8999. All right. One other of our absolute favorite sponsors is Ridgetop Mower of Springfield. And I know Rhonda's very familiar. I mean, if you want, you can do this ad for me. Feel free to chime in anytime. Ridgetop Mower of Springfield offers parts and service, and also they can pick up, like if you have some equipment out there that is maybe growing grass around it, you're never going to use it and it looks dreadful. Well, Gary will have it picked up for free, so you can get your whole yard beautified. Make sure you're taking care of that mower. Give them a call today. They're located at 1100 Matthew Street, right next to Ace Hardware. I know y'all know where that is, but you can call them at 615-855
0044.
0044. That's right. So again, that's 615-855-0044. And you can save 10% if you tell them that Lee Marie sent you. And you know what? They have some of those cool WSGI stickers over there for your car. So make sure you go over there and get one of those as well. Anything else you want to add about Ridgetop that I...
He is very focused on doing a good job for the customer. He offers a 30-day warranty on his work. He takes it to heart when, there are comments made, but he also loves knowing that he's done a good job for a customer. So he's very approachable, and, it's a dying art. If you have someone that you think would be perfect for small engine repair, and I'd say send them, actually, because Gary's always looking for someone to maybe shepherd or apprentice and maybe teach the ropes to.
Inspiration, and always some dates
so
to add to your
I'm biased.
calendar.
Of course.
Friday, we try to stump the
Well,
that's a
doc.
great point,
So
because I know
keep
he's got
sending in those
so
puzzling
many
health
questions. You can email them to
I know he has-
retrolimarie@gmail.com. Again, that's retrolimarie@gmail.com. Computer. Okay, I think we fixed it. We got a new computer system. I know that Gary's got so many parts on the wall. I'm always amazed. And everything's numbered.
Very organized.
Yeah, very organized. And so, if you do have a DIY project, you can go over there and just talk with him. And yeah, if he sees that you've got a skill in that level, in that area, he might be helping out soon, because it's so much better, guys, to fix this stuff than go and buy another, $5,000 zero turn. I mean, some people have got the money and they don't care, but
fix it if you can.
Fix it if you can, guys. Get the blade sharpened and all that. And So, anyways, but back to the better half, Rhonda Rosselli, or the other half.
The other half.
They're both better. So, but anyway, I'm so glad you were able to come on because
Thank you.
You've got so many skills, and I know recently we had talked about somebody that I knew that was having an issue, and I was just so blown away at how knowledgeable you were. Like, okay, well, that's just completely textbook on this, and you had so much experience, behind it, and so I was really excited when you said you could come on.
Well, thank you for the invitation, truly.
I mean, and especially, since you deal with a lot of, substance abuse cases, because that is one of the biggest problems here in Springfield.
Yes.
You talk to law enforcement and they'll tell you.
Yep.
So, to not take cases that are involving, substance abuse is just crazy.
Yeah, it puts a big piece of the population out of the assistance, and that's not.
Is that right? Yeah. So I really appreciate that you're doing that. So we have a few more minutes. What else would you like to tell? I know you can't tell certain stories because of privacy, but is there any advice in general, like if there's maybe some family members out there who have somebody in their care or whatever, any advice on getting them some help?
First, I want to, I guess, clarify the phone number. I'm not even sure that I recited it correctly my second time through. So it is 615-266-3024. And that's mind-renewal.com for the website for more information.
Mind-renewal.com.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also wanted to say that as a new business, I try to recognize the need for flexibility. So I do have some evening and weekend availability. Because that's another challenge. If you work Monday through Friday and I work Monday through Friday, when are you supposed to, see somebody? So that's another piece of information. 988 has become kind of, I guess, the go-to number for crisis management in terms of a mental health issue. 911 is never wrong, but 988 can be called, also texted, which is very unique. Or there's actually a version of it that can be used as a chat on like a computer. So sometimes it's a little less intimidating, especially, today's maybe more of the generational, I'll text before I'll call. So that is definitely information that I want people to, to have and
so
have access to.
They can text 988
Yep.
if they have a
mental health issue, challenge, crisis, their own, someone else's, and need some advice.
Now, when they do the chat, is that through an email?
You would there's actually if they'll Google an actual website, it brings up a chat, and you could sit at your desktop and literally chat with a live agent.
Okay.
So ultimately, there are cases and conditions where, honestly, an inpatient setting is the very safest and most expedient way to get your friend or loved one the help that they need. It can be inordinately difficult or challenging because if law enforcement comes because you've requested maybe a wellness check, which can be done through a non-emergent number for either the city police or the sheriff. If the individual does not pose to their eyes the same level of distress or risk, then they may not actually intervene, and it becomes a very powerless place sometimes for family members, big question marks, and you want the best for your loved one, and the idea that things have to deteriorate significantly before the system will actually step in is a heartbreak. My recommendation in that would be persisting with the notification of the system, the powers that be, the 988, the non-emergent dispatch numbers. If there's any way at all that you could convince the loved one to present to the local emergency room, that's really where the ball gets rolling. They'll start the physical evaluation. There's always has to be a clearance that says this is not a medically induced issue before a mental health service will step in and start looking for placement. And of course, bed availability becomes a challenge. And then, of course, I think the word is in the industry is called boarding in the ER, where waiting for a bed and there isn't one. And so people get left hanging out in the emergency room where they may or may not actually get, their medicine. So there are so many bottlenecks in the system. And so for a loved one to know how best to advocate for, their family member or their friend, it would be to persistently reach out to the 988 number.
Now, is that 988 the same thing as the mobile crisis?
It is like a cousin to it, if I'm not mistaken. There's also a 1-800 crisis one number, but it is sad but true that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and it takes persistence, and then it also takes a level of understanding for yourself that you are not at fault. You are not kind of the Al-Anon, I didn't cause it. I can't change it. I can't control it. NAMI, N-A-M-I, is a national organization that exists to offer support to family members of those going through mental health challenges. And a lot of area churches actually have a NAMI faith support group. So if you are a family member, affected by a lifestyle that kind of revolves around living with someone with their mental illness, I highly recommend a support system, and that would be an excellent place to start. NAMI is their acronym.
Okay. Very good. Excellent information. Awesome. All right. Well, we are speaking to Rhonda Rastelli, and her official title is
psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and I am owner of Mind Renewal Mental Health Services.
Very good. All right. And, like I said, I think it's just awesome that you look at all of the ways that, people can be helped, not just medicine, but, also knowing, where they stand with the Lord is so important. I mean,
Yep.
as Christians, we know that is the most important.
Yep.
So, kind of knowing that. So, well, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I got to cover some more calendar items, but one more time, give them that phone number, because I know some people just tuned in.
615-266-3024. And on my business card, I have Romans 12:2, which is the be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And that's where the name of the business comes from.
Very good. And you're a graduate of Shannon and John's Biblical Foundation.
I am. Well, do you ever graduate? I don't know. But love them. Wellspring Ministries is a core concept that, I hope to actually introduce my own clients to, truly.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Rhonda, for coming on.
Thank you, Lee Marie.
Definitely going to send people your way.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys, you're listening to 1100 WSGI. This is Lee Marie with The Go Show, and I know I promised you guys some calendar dates, and so I do have a few more to give you. But before I do that, I want to remind you that UPS is not just your drop-off place for your Amazon stuff, which I know all of you guys go there, but you can get your business cards made, blueprints, documents shredded, notary, so much more. And of course, their customer service is second to none. Many jobs are same-day print jobs. So give your business a boost and get in there and get some of this stuff ordered. They're located at 513 Memorial Boulevard in Springfield and right by H.D. Hill. Make sure you tell them that Lee Marie sent you. All right, guys, a couple other calendar things I want to tell you about. Cindy Norton is now doing her band class, not band like musical, but exercise bands. She is doing that now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. It's only $5. I was there yesterday. They had about 6 people in it, and it was so good. And here's the thing, guys. It's for all levels because she gives you a bag that has like 5 different strengths of bands in it. So depending on how strong you are at that moment, I haven't been for a couple of weeks, so I had to go back down to green. But any level can get stuff out of this class, and it's so good. She's so good at it. So I hope you guys will check out Cindy Norton. I know a lot of you guys know her from the Journey to Recovery program over at South Haven, but she also is an exercise guru. So she is right here next to Crossroads at Well in the Square, 600 South Main Street. And so again, you don't need to RSVP or anything, just show up. And so tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., show up for Cindy's class. It's $5. And let me tell you, I don't ache at night when I get into bed because I have used all of my muscles. So make sure you get out to Cindy's class. Also, you can stay afterwards at 11 because I am teaching fitness from 11 to 11:30. And this is, we use some great songs. And I had somebody last week say, well, I don't like country music, so that's why I'm not in your line dance class. And I'm like, well, we play all types of music. It's just a way for us to move our bodies, because if you don't move it, you will lose it. So you will definitely have some songs there that you like. So anyways, my line dance class is 11 to 11:30, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then also Tuesday nights, I do one at 5:30 to 6. So we had a great time last night as well. Coming up soon, I'm going to be doing, in July, there's 3 Thursdays. I'm going to be doing some swing dance classes, and you don't need a partner because we rotate, and that's going to be over at Shalom Movement Thursday nights at 7 p.m. So there's 3 Thursdays. I think they're like in the middle of the month. So it's not the next 2 Thursdays, but the 3 Thursdays after that, you can learn some swing dancing over at Shalom for their summer adult program. So Shalom's got a lot of great stuff going on too as well. I also wanted to invite you to a special potluck that is happening at Fluellen Baptist Church this coming Sunday. So their regular service is at 11 a.m. and then immediately following that will be a potluck. So you can join in on that fun 5th Sunday potluck special time. So again, that is Fluellen Church, and that's on Fluellen Road. I know you guys know Fluellen Road because it's also 257. So hopefully you can make it over there and be a part of that. All right, we just have a few minutes left, so I'm going to look back at my Facebook real quick and make sure that I have covered everything that I needed to cover. Yes, there's lots of prayer requests as well, guys. Make sure you go on to, today at 7 p.m.? Okay. The Child Stealer Academy for the Arts Summer Drama Performance, 116 Academy Drive in Springfield, The Child Stealer. So you might want to go to that. That is today, actually, at 7 p.m. There's so much going on, guys. Make sure you get this stuff on your calendar. Oh, yes, tomorrow is Good Morning Robertson County. Now, I don't know why not more of you attend this, because it's free first off. You don't need to be a member of anything. You get a 30-minute briefing that is packed with information on your county, guys, Robertson County. And it is right over there where you pay your water bill, or at the City Hall in Springfield. And anyone is welcome. You just go in, you don't need to RSVP. And County Mayor Billy Vogel gives an update. The city gives an update, and also the chamber. And you want to check this out, guys. And like I said, I don't know why more people don't take advantage of it, but it's from 7:30 to 8. If you want to show up a little bit early at 7:15, you can do so. If you want to talk to some folks, you have some questions, because they start right at 7:30 and they end right at 8, because they're very mindful of people that are having to get to work. And so it never starts late and never goes late. So like I said, try to get there at 7:15 and check it out. Again, it's called Good Morning Robertson County, and that is tomorrow, Thursday. All right, guys, there's a ton of Vacation Bible Schools. Make sure you get your kids signed up for that. Also, Rose over at the Stokes Brown Public Library has a wonderful summer reading program going on, guys. If you haven't taken advantage of that yet, make sure you get over there. And every week, you turn in your card that you check off what you've read. For the kids, there's a big white paper, and they actually write what book it is that they read. But for the adults, there's just a thin card, and you just check off what days you read. And then you hand that in at the circulation desk, and they give you a coupon, that little raffle ticket, and you go ahead and you put it in the box. And then at the end of summer reading, which is, I believe, like the last week of July, they do a big raffle, and you can win some fabulous prizes. So make sure that you are involved with summer reading. I told my friend about it the other day, and she took her toddler, and she said, "Oh my gosh, he loves the library now," because there really is the kids' library section. They have so much stuff to do for the kids in there. So if you haven't gone in yet, guys, it's a great way to go in, beat the heat, and let the kids play with some cool toys and stuff that they haven't seen. And it's already 9 o'clock. I can't believe that. All right, guys, if you missed any portion of this show, please go back and watch it because we had some great guests on. Don't forget this Saturday is the Martha's Song fundraiser. You get to go to 9 locations for only $25, and you get to support cancer victims right here in our community. So we hope that you guys will participate in that. I think tomorrow Penny Callis is going to come on and tell you a little bit more about that on U-Turn Laverne show. So I hope you guys will tune in. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. And like I said, share this show because we need to get the word out on a lot of this stuff. God bless. Make it a great day. I love you guys. You've been listening to 1100 WSGI.